Welcome back to the Holy Hot Honey Hour, where we get into the sauce with the people that make food culture what it is. I'm your host, Matthew Zeiss, with my co-host, Garrett Klein, and today's special guest, three-time Chop champion, chef extraordinaire, Mark Anthony Bynum. Welcome to the Hive, dude.
What's going on? How's everybody doing this morning?
We are
Doing
good.
very good. Thank you for your time. We really appreciate it.
And it's not the morning for me, man. It's the afternoon. I'm in.
Yeah, that's right. This guy's got a 5-hour head start on the day.
I'm in Sweden.
Yeah.
But
going over.
It's nice, man. It's nice, dude. You know, it's comfortable. I dig it. But you know, going back, I think I met you. Right. I mean, what year did Hush open? Like the physical store? Because I was a restaurant. I met you then.
Yeah, 2014.
Oh wow, nice.
Yeah.
I met you back in 2014. I was all over that block, all over Main Street. I was working at the library, Charlotte's.
Mm-hmm.
I was just doing everything. But then someone's like, "You got to try a burger from this guy, man." So that was the first thing I had to do, and it was spectacular. And that was such a great. I feel like the beginning of, and I'm sure you agree with it. I think I heard you on another interview acknowledging it. That's kind of where Long Island, but especially Farmingdale, you elevated the palette of the street.
We took a turn. People didn't think that Farmingdale could support a restaurant like that, you know? And they were just like, well, you know, it's blue collar. I was just like, but this is my town. I know what we like. I know what can work here. You weren't talking about chef-owned and operated spaces at time. You know what I'm saying? Not like little mom and pops for little guys that look like me could be like, yo, let's go do something. Everybody was working for the big companies. And I was just, I can't do that. That doesn't make sense to me. Let me bring something different to the neighborhood. And I always just like, I just want to cater to the 15%. 15% of people that go into your restaurants, they like to, they really have a key of what the restaurant or the chef wants to do. Those are the people that I want to focus on. And I built my food on that. So when people come in, it wasn't about what are we going to eat? It was really about what's chef cooking to, and whatever he's cooking. And, you know, Giannotti, he wrote it best one time, and I couldn't wrote it. He was just like, we've eaten this food, just trust the chef.
Yes.
So just go sit down and eat his food. When we were at the sports bar, it was great food. When we were at Teller's, it was great food. Food truck, great food. Anytime you pull up to Chef Bynum, know that you're going to be getting great food. And that was everything else just took flight, bro.
I love putting my hands in the chef. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
No, I was going to say, I'm sure that freedom and that recognition and people that probably help you spread your wings.
Freedom. Yeah. Freedom. Yeah. Freedom is the word, you know, because if you're a chef and you're working for an owner, the best scene in the movie of Chef when he was, this isn't your food, it's my food. Like, I know we had an agreement, but that agreement's over now because I want to pull that card. I never, ever wanted to be in that position ever again. So that's why I made my restaurant, and that's why I've done it the way I've done it. And it's worked out for me. It can't work out for everybody because you're at the mercy of the people that are paying you. So it's just like, yo, I want to put 4 on the menu now. No, I don't care. I'm doing it. I want to put a $40 burger on the menu now. I'm doing it. Because when I was working for others, I want to put a $38 pork chop on the menu. It was just like, it's not going to sell. So we put it on as a special. It sells. It's like, oh, that's great. Let's put it on the menu. No, you don't want to listen. I said, you don't want to listen. I'm pulling it back. So like, you gotta, like, it was a give and take, and they don't like that. And this is 20 years ago before chefs really had voices. You know what I'm saying? I got fired from jobs because they didn't want me as the face of their brand, because if I left, their brand would crumble.
Sure.
You know, you got to think about that. When you're thinking about these big companies, they're like, I can't bring a chef in. And this is 20 years ago. Now, everybody's just like, I got to bring a chef in. I have to have the name on my, you know, it was just, you know, before the turn.
Yeah, man.
But
You're
bringing that to Farmingdale was a must. That's all I wanted to do. And it's a trickle effect. Now,
totally.
You got places all over between the cocktails. Bro, I got so much hate. You can't sell $14 wine. You can't sell $16 cocktails. I said, no, you can't sell $16 cocktails. Because when they taste it, they're tasting everything that's on the block. They're not going to come in. What's the difference? Can you be an outlier? Don't be afraid to. Have the freedom to do. And that's been my life, and it's worked out for me.
Man,
you know what I'm saying? But
really set the bar higher. Other people had to reach and step on a ladder because, you know, that block was saturated. and
Yeah.
mediocrity. And then, Hush really came in and stepped up and showed that there was a finer palate to be had within Farmingdale. And, you had some other places pop up trying to replicate a higher class, but they still kind of weren't. And I don't want to say names, but
Yeah.
there were some places that, they were charging those prices, but they were charging those prices for things that certainly
Yeah.
weren't worth it by any means. And for your place, it absolutely was. The aesthetics, everything had a higher culture to it.
Thank you.
Where did the name Hush come from?
God. Like
All right.
like at the end of I'm driving back from Virginia, and I had I'm a concepts guy. I'm building concepts in my head, and I'm driving back, and I heard Hush. And I look at, she was my ex-wife. She was my wife at the time. And I was just like, Hush. She was like, okay, be quiet. I was like, no, that's the name of, restaurant, and God gave me scripture, you know what I'm saying, to go with it. So I was like, Hush Bistro. And it's a play on the word speakeasy, 1920s Harlem.
Sure.
All of those things, the logo, I spent it to my guy, and it just hit me. And when you get something, I'm sure when you guys got this podcast, you was just like, yo, it's gonna work. And people are like, nah. Like, I see it, I hear it, I feel it. This is what it is. And then when my guy hit me with the logo, and then everything just started, all the pieces just started to come together.
Yeah.
And I was just, this is it. And, Hush. And I Googled it. There weren't a lot of restaurants. Now there's a restaurant on Long Island, called Hush Lounge. But, Hush is coming back.
All right.
Yeah. So, but it was just a smack in the face, and that's how it came.
Is Hush coming back on Long Island or in Bama?
Both.
All right, man. Nice.
Yeah. Well, Hush never died. Hush is like saying my name. So instead of saying Chef Mark Bynum, you just say Hush, because that's what it's known for. So we have a couple of concepts. We have Harmony, which is, I call it like Hush on steroids, because it's just a totally different, moving down to Birmingham, moving down to the CRD, and feeling like the roots of not just, my ancestry, but really the birthplace of a lot that goes on in America. The food culture, the food scene, the music scene, it really took the trajectory of what I had in my head to a different level. So that's Harmony. You know what I'm saying? And Harmony is ultimately everything that I've experienced in my life, the good, bad, and different, just coming together and creating beautiful music. So everything that you eat is a story. Everything that you taste is a song. And it just makes me, bro, it's so.
I love that.
And so that's that. But it's powered by Hush. Then we have Hash, which is the breakfast concept, the pie hole. So everything is Hush. So the brand that I've created, is separate of me. Yeah. I want it to be that I'm done. It's not, well, Chef is gone. No, Hush and the Bynum legacy is still here. We have a great foundation, and everybody else can eat off of it. That's the goal. Yeah.
Wonderfully put.
Yeah. But yes, in New York, like right now, we just launched on a consulting company with a tasting room in Farmingdale on Main Street, just a couple of blocks away from us. So we have that. We have a couple of things out east that we're working on. And then we're in Birmingham chipping away. You know what I'm saying? We got a brick and mortar in the works. But the food truck is here. We got dope food coming off the food truck. We start this week at Bygones. We do a pop-up there. But it's going to be elevated food off the truck.
That's great,
think food
man.
Off the truck. It's a restaurant.
I love that. No, that's when food, I mean, first off, I love food trucks in the first place, but when you're talking about a person like yourself, I mean, I think you mentioned before, right? The movie Chef, right? And I've heard that movie, that like professional chefs like yourself look at that movie and it's like it nails it. It nails exactly what. So the fact that you can be a finer dining chef cooking out of a truck, it doesn't mean it's
just. Yeah. And it goes with you where you go. Like people are like, it's a food truck. Nah, bro, it's a kitchen. That's like saying the car doesn't drive right. No, it's not the car, it's the driver. Sure. If you're not driving it right, and it's fire. So if I'm doing my foie, and if I'm doing my torchon, and if I'm pulling up my circulator and I'm pulling it off the truck, and I'm just, all my meats is done at the commies. So I'm doing, I got my sous vide with my 48-hour short rib that's going to be on the menu, and it's coming off the truck. Why? Because that's what I have. I don't need a brick and mortar to give you dope food.
I love
dope
that.
Food is dope food. And then once people realize that, then they're not handcuffed. People think that they have to be in a brick and mortar. No, you just have to produce dope food. And right now with everything being on social, you can get They just got the Michelin down here in Birmingham, and it just came out yesterday. Bro, I want a Michelin off my truck.
Yeah.
Who says that? Like, who says that we can't taste the food?
Yeah.
Like, if the food speaks, yeah, we're gonna give you great service, so forth and so on. But then just give me a caveat. But don't tell me that my food ain't better than your food and your food and your food just because y'all want to pay some bread. Nah, come and eat my food, my boy. And that's what it has to get back to, because everybody now thinks that, oh, since I got 2 million followers, and nah, is your food jam?
Yeah.
If I go there and I stand online for 45 minutes and I eat it, am I gonna be like, yo, I gotta come back? Bro, during COVID, I lived in St. James. I would drive to freaking Queens just to get Birria Landia tacos. Why? Because they're Birria Landia tacos, bro. Like, it's the same thing with us. I got people coming from Connecticut when we were at Hush. I got people coming from Jersey. I got people literally driving on a Tuesday from the Hamptons for chicken, bro. Like, that's the impact that I want to have.
Yeah.
Everybody else would be like, yo, you're a douchebag. Yeah, you're not such a douchebag.
Yeah.
I didn't come here to be your best friend.
Yeah.
I came here to cook some jank food and make some leaders. You know what I'm saying? Create some business, have some fun, do stuff like with you guys. Like, you're in Sweden. Why can't we go over and do a pop-up over there?
Awesome,
it's just
actually.
communication, bro. Like, can we talk to each other? If we're all going through it, everybody's struggling out here. If we all going through it, can we just like come together as a people? Taste the food. You like it? All right, what's up?
Food
Yo, you
binds
DJ?
us.
Yeah, that's it. And that's all Hush did. People that would never ever talk to me in life, bro, know me because of the medium, which is my food. And then they listen, and then the food speaks. That's it. Yeah.
Garrett, we can't hear you.
Mic check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
I think his mic died.
Yeah.
Must have.
Speaking of mic dying, let me.
All right. Well, he gets his mic working. I'm gonna pop a question out. Oh wait, is he back? You
I'm
back?
back?
You're back. All right.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, guys.
No worries.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
All right. Sorry about that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the old cell phone commercial. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? So up in New York, we've seen a huge pop in the food truck culture. There's food trucks everywhere. They have food truck events. Is there a big culture down in Birmingham now too, or is it starting to?
I think it's been here already. The food truck culture down, but it's not. It's a food truck culture, but it's not my type of food truck culture. You know what I'm saying? If that's understandable. Like, I want to take food trucks to a totally different stratosphere of what people think about the truck. Because there's so many great chefs out there that aren't getting their voices and their food heard because they're working under someone else that's not allowing them to get that light. And the food and a pop-up, like, come and bang on my truck. Come and bang on my truck for a month. Like, I want your voice to be, it's so important for cooks to get their voices heard, because then you have these guys going into restaurants and they say like the 18 chefs that they worked under, and they don't even have their own voice. And everybody's food is the same. And your parents didn't raise you that way to have that palate. You know what I'm saying? Speak to the food of your upbringing, and I'll show you, you'll make a difference. You know what I'm saying? When I put pork and beans on the menus, because every day as a kid, that's all I ate. You know what I'm saying? When I was on Chopped and I made pork and beans, and when I made apple pie, because those are the things that are near and dear to me, that if I close my eyes and I put it in my mouth, it brings me back to a place when I was a kid that everything was just cool and peace. Or it brings me back to a place where I was just like, yeah, I just want to beat this motherfucker. Like, food takes you there. But unless you get that relationship with food and you want to communicate with it, you won't be able to. Like, when I say I listen to some of these guys, and I go into some of these restaurants, and I'm just like, yo, where's your voice? Where's your tone? It's super duper muted. Like, everybody was so into, let me go be a chef, instead of let me go bust my ass and learn the craft. So then when I get my chance, nobody could tell me nothing. And it's not nobody could tell me nothing. It's just that the foundation that you have is going to make you want to go out and learn more. So you're going to go out and cook with the best and eat with the best anyway. And that's going to be your drive. If I want to be inspired for a new menu, I go to a great chef's restaurant and I sit there and I eat his food and I fellowship. How much do we as cooks, and I say it because everybody wants to be a chef, how much do we as cooks fellowship? How much do we as cooks? How much do we as bartenders? And I want to take the industry as a whole. It's different with chefs, because bartenders, taste my drink. Like, they want to do it. Chefs are just like, no, I want to hold this in my pot. Like, bro, show me the recipe, bro. I put my recipes up. You ask me a question, I'll tell you. Why? Because your demographic isn't my demographic. We won't cross, but we could build. Like, I don't understand what's so hard about building in this time, building in this industry. And people did it before. That's how we know so much. Now everybody wants to keep it close to the vest or only give it to certain people because, this is my clique. Your clique is trash, bro. Y'all ain't won a champion in 20 years. Like, change up your squad. You got a guy over here talking about some, put me in. Just, put me on the practice squad. Let me show you what I could do. Nobody want to do that no more. Me, I'm just like, come pull up on the practice squad. I might have an Arian Foster, bro. Like, you're going to be on the practice squad all this time, and you're gonna bang me for 250 yards. Give people a chance. Everybody's scared. It's so weak. It's weak-minded, bro. It gets me tight.
Is there something being, 3-time Chop champion, that's like a gladiator status of that type of arena. So in the Chopped world, was there something that being in the Chopped kitchen taught you that no regular restaurant kitchen could have taught you?
Nah, that's for sure. Like, that's
pressure wasn't hotter there?
The pressure's hotter when I know that Mrs. Weiss is at the restaurant and she's eating and it's Valentine's Day, or it's like, those are more pressure situations. I'm going and they're going to tell me that I'm going to make 10 bands by beating these dudes. What's the pressure, bro? And besides from that, for me, I didn't think of it as that. I wasn't looking to win. I was looking to get my face out there so I can make more bread. Long Island, bro, every restaurant that I went to on Long Island, they would only pay me but so much. I could only do but so much. I'm 21 years old, bro. I got a kid. I can't make a living off of freaking $15, $16 an hour. Nobody want to pay me what I'm worth, even though I'm running their kitchens. All right, so I got to do what I got to do. So the Chop kitchen and any competition kitchen shouldn't teach you anything. It should be a display of what you've learned over the course of your time.
Crafted from raw honey and fresh chilies, a balance of sweet and subtle warmth, aged with care to deepen every note, paired with cheeses and charcuterie, glaze across golden fried chicken, drizzle over wood-fired pizza, a touch transforms everything. Holy hot honey, divinely sweet, sinfully spicy.
That makes you...
That's great. I like that a lot, man. That's so wisely put.
Because what is that 45 minutes going to teach you? Nah, that's where they get it fucked up. That 45 minutes isn't going to teach you anything. That 45 minutes is for you to showcase what you've learned. So show me your knife cuts. Show me that you understand that I got 25 minutes to cook. I understand it's 30, but 5 minutes I want to spend on plating. That regardless of what's in the basket, I got to stick to me, because it's not about me and the 3 other people. It's about me and the basket. I can give a fuck about what they doing. My food already going to be better than theirs. I just got to make sure I get it on the plate.
That's great, man. I mean, truly, what a mindset.
But that should be everybody's mentality. You don't go in it to lose. I just said, I'm not coming here to lose. What the fuck are you talking about? I'm coming here to lose? Nah, I'm coming here to win. And if I don't think I'm going to win, why the hell am I playing the game? I know I can win this game. That's why I play.
That's great.
So when I do pizza, it's, bro, I tasted your pizza. I got you, my boy. I tasted your noodle. I tasted your... By the time I bring a concept to market, I've eaten at least $500,000 in food in that specific genre. You can't tell me I don't know noodle when I've spent more noodle than some restaurants have actually spent to build their concept. Just eating it, traveling. Moon Ramen, freaking best ramen that you'll ever have in your life. It's not there no more. He's in freaking like California somewhere. But Josh makes the best ramen in the country. He don't even do ramen right now. And that's a fact. And the reason why I stopped going to him is because my noodles started to taste like his. So I don't.
Yeah.
I would go there every day on my day off and spend $300. I'm off 2 days a week. I'm spending $600 a week. I'm spending freaking, what is that? 600, that's $2,400 a month.
That's a lot of money on noodles.
For the year. On noodle, just so nobody could tell me nothing. Here, taste it. Oh yeah, it's it. So
research money, man.
That's all it is. And nobody researches. They'll look it up. They'll Google. By the time they put it on their plate, they haven't even cooked it 10 times.
What got you into? You started Pie Hole. Now, is that just a pop up, or was there ever a brick and mortar?
Pie Hole. We had a brick and mortar in Farmingdale.
Oh, you did.
Yeah. It was dope. And the only reason why I opened up pizza and I started doing pizzas because I needed a commissary kitchen. My food truck and my catering is dope business.
Yeah.
So we're doing busy business, and the pizzeria went out. I was just like, I just need the kitchen. But then he wanted to overcharge me, so I was just like, so I got to do pizza. Oh. So I started to play with the dough, and I hired a couple of pizza guys, and it just wasn't what I had in my head. So, and they were like, no, you got to do it this way. Well, I've been doing it like, I don't care how you've been doing it. I don't want to touch my dough for 72 hours. I was like, this is what we're going to do. This is the flour that we're going to use. And these are my toppings. They didn't work out. So then I had to just do it myself. But the pie hole's coming back. I love pizza, bro.
Yeah, us
And
too.
the like the oxtail, the Caribbean Queen. And for me, there's only one spot that does similar, but it's not fine dining slice. And that's Cuts and Slices. They do the oxtail and so forth and so on.
What
Pie
year
Hole
was
is
Pie Hole in Farmingdale? Because I mean, I was out of there for a bit.
2022.
I was already living here.
Well,
that makes
yeah.
sense.
Yeah. So, and it was crank. We did Rolling Loud with the Pie Hole, Vegan Dale. Like we do pop-ups all over the place, but we had the brick and mortar. It was great. And then I got an offer to come down to Birmingham, and we sold everything and we made the trip.
Great, man. It's funny that
Yeah.
with Pie Hole, I swear to you, no bullshit. Before deciding on the Holy Hot Honey Hour, my original title idea was Pie Hole People. And then I went with Holy Hot Honey Hour. And then while getting ready for this, I saw that you had Pie Hole. I was like, that's fucking awesome, man, because I love that term, you know? Like, I really do.
Yeah.
So what would you, I mean, I'm sure this is probably a question you've been asked, but what was the first dish you remember cooking where the people are, you know, like for instance, right, Eddie Murphy, right? He said that on his first time making people laugh that he remembers like, oh, I want to do this, was he was on a bus mocking people and imitating them. And that was the first time he remember, oh, I can do this for a living. Like people enjoy what I do. So what was the first moment you had that?
It was really at church, like cooking with my mom. The first time I thought I could do it, and she let me know that the food was horrible. But really, it was just on a Sunday, and my mom was just like, make sure that you cook the food good. And I was going to like Bosie's and stuff like that. So I was just like, all right, but I really thought about it because I got crucified the time before. And everybody loved the food. And then once my mom gave me the nod, I was just like, all right.
Awesome.
The hardest in the world.
Do you know what dish it was?
It was just chicken and rice. It was for the church, 50 people. It was super duper simple. Super duper simple, good, and church people. They'll tell you it's not good, bro. They'll be like, yeah. And they'll tell you about the food just sitting on the plate. They'll be like, yeah, I'm hungry, but I'm not eating this. So
yeah, that's a bad
sign. Once I was just like, okay, you know what I'm saying? We could do something with this. And it was off to the races. Yeah.
Garrett, your mic's out again, my man.
Is that a Knicks hat that you got on? That might be the reason. Even worse. Heard that. My wife is an Islander fan.
I think, is your battery dying?
Back?
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I'm back?
Yeah, you're back.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I think I keep getting messages, and I think that cuts me out.
Oh, all right.
Okay. You're a busy person?
I'm sorry. We're talking about the Island game, actually.
You just could have said, yes, guy. Yes, I'm a busy person.
Yeah, very, very, very busy. Very, very busy. Yes. Always. Running here, running there. So you'd mentioned that you went to Bosie's. A lot of people think that, in order to get to the status that you're at, you need to be classically trained and go to, the highest of the highs. Explain, like, that's not actually, like, people don't.
You gotta, it's an art. You got to realize that eventually it became into a business, and that's the reason why people say you have to go to school, so forth and so on. Culinary artistry is that. A Picasso is a Picasso from practicing. I'm saying, I didn't go to culinary school. I went to Bosie's. That's it. I learned that. But for me, it was instinctual. Some people are just born to do this. I think that I am one of those people, because even when I went to school and I went to Bosie's the first day, I'm saying Mario Bucci gave me a knife and I started cutting. He was just like, that's a different type of sound. If you go to a boxing gym, and everybody will be hitting the bag, but if some dude is hitting the bag, gadoom, gadoom. So with the knife cuts, it was just like tip, 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 tip. When he looked over, he was just like, yo, do that again, tip, tip, tip. He was just like, Bleep. So at that point, it's just, you don't. And if you love something enough, you're gonna learn it. You know what I'm saying? I love my wife enough to learn everything about her. I love this business enough to want to know everything about it. Not just what they did back in the days, but what we're doing now and what the future is going to be. Because if I'm going to be who I know that I am, I can't just be, Burnt is a great, great movie to show the past versus the future colliding and wanting to be better. Chef is great for like the individual chef. Burnt is great for a fine dining chef trying to build a team.
What about Ratatouille?
It was, bro, Ratatouille is great until the rats started looking in the fucking kitchen, bro. It was great. It was great. I was just like, yeah. As soon as all the rats came in, I was just like, see, now you lost me. Yeah. And it's a great movie, and everybody can cook, but, they should have made those people and not rats, and then it would have been great.
Yeah, I heard some kitchen folk, right? Anthony Bourdain was like, oh, that's my favorite movie about being a chef.
Yeah, being a rat. But anyway.
Yeah. Garrett, your microphone's out again, man. Maybe just disconnect it and just go for it.
Yeah. I know you got some good questions, man.
I
Yeah, we hear the tap tap.
I heard a tap. Yeah.
Back?
Yeah, you're back.
I don't understand why the sink keeps dying.
In between questions, it's all right. You know what? Just check it in between your questions, and we're good.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So, can you taste what's in a dish when you bite into it? I'm sure you're like.
And the microphone's done.
Nice.
So's your question, bro.
Yeah.
All
Before
right.
Mike's went bang.
All right, we're good.
All
All
right,
right.
I'm back.
I'm gonna have to jump and get a. Yeah, we all banged today.
Take two.
I'm gonna have to get a charger in like 45 seconds.
All right. You can do that then between you can do that now if you want to.
Yeah, you can
Okay.
do that when my mic dies in 2 seconds.
Heard that. 2 seconds. Ready? 1, 2. Let's go.
I wonder. It must mean that it lost a charge already, which is crazy.
Yeah, I don't understand how this.
But you know what? Do you have the second one?
I think so. Somewhere, yeah.
It
It should be ready for the next.
All right. Because if that's charged, then we're good for that. But this will be fine for now. Is someone writing you?
No, I'm trying to connect with Bluetooth.
Because I was thinking maybe that was interrupting the feed.
We're sorry we had to stop the recording.
I'm still recording on my end, I think.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Mics are
Okay.
good.
Mic
Charging
checker,
is
mic
good.
checker.
1, 2, 1, 2.
Check,
All right.
man.
Okay. So when you taste a dish that you're trying for the first time, can you dissect the ingredients?
Sometimes I can. Sometimes over time, if you eat it, you just. For me, it's all about closing your eyes, and then you'll just taste the layers. If a chef is good, you know what I'm saying, you could just taste the different layers of the food that you'll taste. You know, just with like the gastrique, if you're building a sauce, you're like, okay, that's his acid layer, that's the butter, that's this, that's so. Yeah, and it's cool, you know, and sometimes I don't want to dissect food. I just want to enjoy it, you know. So if I'm going to Crown, if I'm going to certain places, I'll eat it, but I'll probably dissect it on the way home. It won't hit me. A dining experience won't hit me like the first couple of hours that I'm there. I'll be driving home. I'll be like, that was dope. You know what I'm saying? It's an experience, but it's thought provoking, and that's when you know somebody's really enjoying their stuff. Like when you could be like the little Easter eggs. You know what I'm saying? When you watch a movie, it's just like, yo, what can I try and hide that the people that really get it are gonna get? So that's what you try and do as a chef, right? If you want to have fun with it, but you got to create your own fun. If it's everyday thing, that's boring as hell. Nobody want to do that. That's why I got all these concepts.
Well, that's what I like. What you said at the beginning of this was people that's showing up and just trusting whatever the chef makes. I'm one of those people that loves that. I mean, I love not knowing and being surprised, you know, by whatever it is. Just hit me with something great. It's going to be an awesome experience, because that's what you said. It's an experience, you know. And I look at food that way. For sure. You know, yesterday I told somebody, and it's not fine cuisine, but it's a minor example of this. I saw they had gingerbread Doritos, right? And I just had to buy it. I was like, I don't expect it to be the best thing ever, but I need to experience whatever this tastes like. And when it comes to fine dining, it's certainly always that too, you know? You never know. Something's going to hit you. And I try to teach my son, I'm like, try everything once, food-wise, you know, because you're going to have it. And if you don't like it, you don't have to have it again, but it might be the best thing you've ever tried.
Yeah, and don't relegate it to when you're younger, because your palate changes. Everybody talks about hated Brussels when they were kids, but now Brussels, as you get older, like, I gotta add the Brussels sprouts on the menu. Gotta have the Brussels sprouts.
I remember when that became real trendy, man. When that became right, it was like the roasted Brussels sprouts, the Parmesan.
Everybody.
I was working at a restaurant in Farmingdale, and they were serving Brussels sprouts, and then the next table had truffle pizza, and then the third table thought the sewer lines broke because
that whoop.
Dude, the person's like, I think there's an issue. I think the sewage lines. I was like, no. They got Brussels sprouts. They got truffle oil. They're like, oh, got it. All right.
And I think it also, a lot of it, sorry to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
I think a lot of it has to do with the execution of the dish too, because somebody might have had a dish that wasn't properly executed and made, you know, maybe wasn't done right, overcooked, undercooked, or whatever, and that might turn them off going forward.
Yeah.
And then they have it again, and then made by somebody who knows what they're doing, and they're like, "Oh my God, this is the most amazing dish I've ever had."
I think truffle's a great truffle's a great example of that, because it can be done wrong so fast.
Yeah, it's just, it can be overpowering, and it's just like, and I'll tell people, they're like, "Oh, I love these Brussels sprouts." I'm like, "Yeah, you love these Brussels sprouts. Don't go to another restaurant and get Brussels sprouts and think that you're gonna get these." You know what I'm saying? That's like, okay, and you know, you gotta say that to let people know, but they know. You just gotta let them know again.
Yeah, you gotta
make sure you come for these Brussels sprouts.
Little education. Yeah. Is there one like food trend that you just wish would just go away? You know, I asked this to somebody else, and it was I'm not going to say what their answer was. I'm curious what yours is.
Air fryers?
Air fryers, really? I love my air fryer.
I love. Me too.
But I mean, like restaurant wise, like culinary wise, because not that I take offense. I didn't invent the air fryer.
I didn't take offense either.
I don't know. Listen, nobody. I want to get on that trend. I think if I start to do videos with air fryers, I think that I'll create a TikTok page and it'll go bonkers. I
making good food out of the air fryer. That'd be sick. Yeah. For me, it's just a reheat. It's better than the microwave for me. That's it.
My microwaves are used for coffee to reheat my coffee.
Sure.
That's about it.
You know what? I don't even do that. I pour the coffee. If it's a cold cup, I pour it right back in the pot, boil it on the stove, put it back in my cup.
I used to think it's that film over the top if you forget about it, and I can't.
Yeah,
see,
like a little layer of coffee slice. That just reminded me of a funny quote. My mom one time when I was young misquoted Forrest Gump in just the worst way. She's like, "What's that movie? It's something's like a slice of coffee." I'm like, "First the hell off!
Wow,
is this frozen coffee? Like, how are you slicing the coffee?
I'm slicing some coffee."
Yeah, but you know I had Frank Antonetti on from 1653 Pizza, and he had said the trend he wished would die is like the overwhelming dishes, you know, where it's like a milkshake that has a meal in it and the burger that's this tall. And I actually agree with him on that one.
They're still doing that?
Exactly.
Do,
Exactly.
Yeah, they still do. Yeah.
I said that to him too. Because
it must be a Long Island thing because I don't see that any place else.
I find that nauseating. I remember. I
always did. Always
me
did.
too. I started with the Bloody Marys. You know?
Yeah, I remember. I couldn't get on that trend. They're just like, oh yeah, you gotta not.
No.
It was hard for me. It was really, really hard for me to get on the fried chicken and waffle kick, bro.
Oh, I love fried chicken and waffle.
Yeah. They was just like, I was like, why do I gotta do it? Because and I tell the story all the time. I had taken off a Sunday for brunch, and my cooks, they was just like, we're gonna run a special. It's gonna be the chicken and waffle. Chef ain't even gonna know. And they sold like 35 that day.
Oh shit!
So from that day on, the chicken and waffles.
If you made chicken and waffles, I can only imagine how freaking awesome it would be. Truly.
Well, because now I take the chicken and we do everything that we're supposed to do, but then we put the chicken in the waffle batter.
Nice.
So now when you do the chicken and waffle, it's just like, where's the chicken? It's actually in the waffle, and
it's literally chicken and waffles.
Yeah, and you know, and it's
bro,
amazing.
I can't even tell you how much I love chicken and waffles. I mean, truly one of my favorite meals of all time.
Born from fire and sweetness, forged in flavor, fresh chilies, raw honey, real warmth, aged to perfection, balanced by nature, smooth, rich, and just enough heat to keep it holy. Holy Head Honey, divinely sweet, simply spicy.
Yeah. So chicken waffles is great. I think that the trend that I would love to eliminate is bad food.
Sure.
Bad food in restaurants.
That's a tough.
I know, and that's why I want to eliminate that trend. You know how easy it is to cook good food nowadays,
of course,
with everything that we have.
Yeah.
Like systems and controls, salt, pepper, make a beurre monte, cook it properly. Like that's the trend I want at 86.
I dig that. I like that.
But
it's an impossible one, but
it is.
Yeah, because a lot of people are afraid of the kitchen. You know, you ask people, "Oh, can you cook?" and they're very afraid to go in there. They're like, "Oh, I'm going to burn something. I'm going to, you know." So
it's a very intimidating room, but you know what I'm saying? They said the bedroom is the same thing, but you don't hear dudes talking about some, I'm not gonna lay this chick down because I'm scared.
I bet some of them are, man.
Some do.
You better get in some practice. Let me practice on my own. Let me masturbate in the kitchen for a little bit before I bring it up. That's it, bro. It's just practice.
Post-date night.
Yeah. Like, all right. I'm good. I got this stroke right. Yeah, I can make chicken. Like, come on.
Like you said, the knife sound, it's a different sound. You got to just get it right. All in the rhythm.
Who's the comedian? Sorry to cut you off. The comedian that was like, before you bang a chick, just go in the bathroom and jerk off real quick, and then see if you actually still into that chick. Most dudes would be like, I don't even want to bother with that.
We can't even talk like that right now, bro. It's 2025.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? Different years, different. Yeah.
That's the way we talked in the kitchen. Now people are just like, oh my gosh, like
funny is funny, man. That's the thing. Like comedy, kitchen, it's all.
It's all relatable. Like you have. If I'm bringing it to you, it's because of relatable. I think sex is relatable because everybody should be doing it. So if that's the common denominator, why can't we talk about it?
Yeah,
but we're not gonna.
No. Different. That's the honey podcast after hours.
That's the unholy hot honey.
Yeah, unholy hot honey. Nice. X-rated. Garrett, you had a question, I think?
No, I was kind of just going to say, where did the that whole super small portions on a $200 plate of food come from? It drives me crazy.
Napa
Like, you
Valley,
go to,
California.
yeah, but it drives me crazy. You go out and you go to this really fine dining, and you get this portion, because I know portion control, and it's supposed to be like the size of your fist is what you're supposed to be able to eat,
I
like
have a
the size
huge hand.
but I don't know. I feel like I go out to these places and then I'm just hungry afterwards, and I'm like, I need more food. Let's go and stop at anywhere else.
And then I would say that they didn't do it right, because if you're gonna do it, you still want to be satisfied. Like my goal is to satisfy you. And if you leave out and go get a papaya dog because we just had freaking $250 a person in the city and we're still hungry, then we didn't fulfill our job as the restaurant. So small portions, yes. If you're going to give me small portions, you better be giving me 8 in a matter of a couple of minutes, so then we're full. But don't give me small portions and think that I'm supposed to like it because it looks cute. No, it has to have flavor and detail in it. And I don't want to pay $250 just because you want me to pay $250 because 15 years ago you was hot. Are you still relevant now? Am I still going to be paying you $250 now?
This all sounds like bedroom talk again, just to me.
Because this is like, I did something dope freaking 10 years ago, but if I don't stay relevant now, you're not going to pay for it now. But make it affordable for people. You could give a $65 a person 4-course menu that'll blow the doors off for anybody. You know what I'm saying? And you'll still make your money instead of having to charge them $225 a person. You know what I'm saying? There's ways to do it. But, is your lease right? Are your employees right? Is your staffing correct? Is your food cost? Those are those things that they don't teach you on TikTok. They don't teach you on Instagram. Like, you got to actually be in the trenches and know it. And then everybody thinks that they're great, and that what they do is they fuck it up for us, because then they outprice us. They outprice us in the way that they should be charging $275 a person, but they're charging $150 because they don't have insurance. They don't have this. They don't have that. We're a real business, and they playing games.
I also think those tiny dishes are kind of an example of greed to some degree. If you were talking about the tiny ones that leave you unsatisfied, then it seems like the restaurant is just charging you because they can, of course. I've been to some nice restaurants where it's a smaller portion, but as you said, Mark, then you leave. Like, I look at my wife like, oh, that was awesome. Like, that was so great. Like, what an experience. Like, that was just, you're so satisfied on every level.
Del Posto. When I went to Del Posto when they were open, I would spend the grip, but I would go satisfied. And it's not super duper big portions, but they're nice enough portions where you feel that you just make it work. Make it make sense. Like, I just spent $250. Make it make sense. And knowing that it's not because you just put a nice piece of chicken on the menu and you put it in a bag and you put it in water and now you're going to charge me more. Like, at the end of the day, that chicken still costs freaking $2.49 a pound. I go to some restaurants and there's a $42 piece of chicken on the menu. I'm like, how, Sway? Like that was like one between the chicken and the pasta. Those were the two that like, I'm paying $28, I'm paying $30, I'm paying $42, $44 for a piece of chicken. All right.
It better be the best chicken I've ever had, though.
It don't be.
No.
It don't be.
Because I don't mind paying money if it is something that's just going to blow my socks off. If then there's certain times I've spent money like completely, like, here's a trend that I think, I don't know if it's a thing in the States. Here, Dubai chocolate is huge, right?
Yes,
and
it's huge here.
My wife had a colleague who, thank God, isn't going to listen to this, and she's from Dubai, and she tells my wife, the other staff members are like, oh, they're all teachers too, so you expect them to be a little smarter. And I don't think they're going to listen to this either. And they
I hope not.
Because they're smart.
Sure, because then they're like, my God, this is so great. This is the best thing I've ever had. So my wife knew that I wanted to try it. My wife said, okay, she's from Dubai. It was like $17 for this chocolate bar. And listen, in the grand scheme of things, that's not that much. But it was the size of a Hershey bar. I would have rather spent $17 on a Snickers than this thing. I didn't get it. I was like, I would choose Snickers every time over this. And that's not because I have a shit palate. It's because this is shit. Like, it's not good. And I don't get it.
And it makes me think, like, I've tasted a couple of packages and I'm just like, I need to know what the original Dubai, like, I need to know, because this watered down version that we get, that's on every 7-Eleven corner, go to TJ Maxx, like, that's not Dubai chocolate. Like, what is Dubai chocolate? Because is it really just pistachio cream and chocolate with a couple of freaking nicotines in it? Or is it something really different?
Like I said, I had a Dubaian, whatever you call them, Dubian, I don't know. But she's
I can go for a Dubian right now.
Scooby Dooby Doobian. No, but she's from Dubai, so I expect that what I had must have been the most authentic you could get it without being in Dubai, and it was super non-impressive. Just, I don't know. I like pistachio a lot, so maybe I wanted the pistachio flavor to shine through more. It just, I don't know, man.
It wasn't. And this is what's the crazy part is we come to a place where we know real food because we, whether it be pre-COVID, whether it be whatever, and we come from a place where food is culture. Like New York, Long Island, the East, like food is real culture. So when we go to other places and we taste other things, like we taste pizza in other places and they're like, oh, this is great. And I'm just like, where? That's not good. That's not good. So now as we get older, we taste food and everybody's like, oh, this is great. They was like, nah, this isn't better than the food that I was eating on a corner with my boys freaking in the winter out of cans. It's not that bad, but you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
People think things are great, and then we have people like us that really have made food our life, and I'm just like, that's not great. It's not even mediocre. But
yeah, my wife was like, I can't trust my colleagues anymore. She's like, I can't trust them.
No.
I was like, exactly.
Yeah.
But I think that comes. I think that sort of comes from what we had mentioned earlier, that people are so afraid to go in the kitchen and they're so culinary, I guess, spastic or illiterate that when they taste something, they're like, oh my God, somebody made this. This is so good. And they don't even realize the levels of it, So like I think it's partially that people are just so afraid of the kitchen that whenever they get something and it's presented them nicely, people eat with their eyes. So automatically if it looks nice, they're like, this is going to taste nice. It's going to be good. And that's it.
Yeah. And with that said, like a lot of people don't cook as much. It's like if you go to a place and you play ball and they're like, oh, he's good. You're like, he all right. He all right. Like,
and that also plays to the level of competition in the area too. Cause like you said, when you go to you go to a boxing, you go to a boxing gym and you hear that thump and you're like, oh, that guy actually knows how to throw a punch. And then you see somebody next to him who thinks he knows how to throw a punch, but you can hear the difference. Even like with a pitcher, you can hear when a pitcher has that snap in the catcher's glove, you can hear the difference in the pop.
Shout out to the Dodgers. Great World Series.
What a World Series. Oh my God.
Shout out to Canada.
Crazy.
I'm glad y'all didn't win it because it's America's pastime, but I'm just saying.
As an Islander fan and a Toronto Maple Leafs hater, I was hoping that that the Blue Jays would get a championship before the Maple Leafs, because that would just be poetic justice.
Is there one flavor that doesn't ring with you? Like somebody's palate, my palate has like, I can't do blue cheese. I can't do cilantro. Is there flavors? I can, if it's done right with cilantro. Blue cheese, I can't, but cilantro, a little sprinkle will do you. Is there one for you?
Nah. No. I think for the most part, especially with me being an educator, I have to taste everything. Yeah. And even if I don't like something, I know that I could pair it with something that can just balance or mellow it out. Like I used to hate like Aperol and stuff like that just because I wasn't good at balancing it with the bitters, so forth and so on. But once I got to know how to use it, I think that's where people get it banged up. They think they don't like something because they don't know how to use it.
Definitely.
I didn't know how to kiss a girl, so when she tried to kiss me the first time, I was like, "Ooh, I hate kissing." I'm like, "No."
I'm sure you didn't think you were gay because of it either. Are we allowed to say that stuff?
So I was just like, "Oh, okay, no problem. I do like kiss." So it's just, you know what I'm saying? I might not like a flavor, but if it's paired properly, I can't say I don't like anything because
that's so funny.
Yeah.
Like I said, for me, it's really those two things I can't do. I remember the first time trying gorgonzola, and I'll try anything more than once. But again, the one thing I want to try and I never have, I heard blue cheese melted on steak is incredible.
Oh, you're serious? Like you're like, no, blue cheese.
No, I never. I mean, I really can't.
Blue cheese on steak, and then but there's different levels to blue cheese, just like mezcal. Like you got your Stilton, you got your gorgonzola. I might have more of a robust flavor than others. Now we gotta sit there and have blue cheese is dope because blue cheese on a burger with like wild mushrooms and I call it the bottom. I used to not like blue cheese too, but if you put it on, you said steak, but any type of beef with those mushrooms and the onion, with a little horseradish mayo, arugula, because of that peppery taste.
I mean, it sounds great, man.
Bro.
Do you cook any vegan or vegetarian food? Because everything you're talking about makes me so hungry, and I don't eat meat.
Everything that we do has a vegan or vegetarian option. And that's just the way we cook because it's so important. Like we want to touch every base, and we never want it to be where the vegans and vegetarians come to the restaurant and they think they forgot about us. Nah, like you'll see a whole bunch of V's and vegetarians, and there's a lot of stuff that omit and take out because it's necessary. And if you want to eat healthy, like you have to switch it up at times, you know.
Yeah, I'm also vegetarian, but we have here in Sweden so many vegetarian substitutes that blow the ones in the States away. When I first came here, I probably told this story like 3 or 4 times by this point on this cast, but I had said to my wife before I moved here, I was like, oh man, I gotta invent like a burger because, you know, Impossible Burger is pretty solid. But then my wife was like, I don't get it. Like, what are you talking about? Because when I came here, there's a ton of them, and there's one that you would never know the difference between real beef and this, to the point where I was like, imagine if they're lying to us. Like, they're just packing this shit with meat. But to backtrack real quick, because I know I'm going to forget, though, you mentioned kissing, and you mentioned your wife earlier. Reminded me, though, is your wife also from Long Island? I mean, she looks so familiar, dude. When you post the concept, was she from Farmingdale, or did she ever work there?
She worked at Croxley's, like, and she was at Vespa for a little bit. She lived in Florida, but yeah, she's
okay.
Gina's my wife.
Definitely where I know her from. I worked at Vintage for a little while.
Yes, yeah, and her mom, and Tasting Room is Vintage now, so we just took over Tasting Room.
Okay.
I mean Vintage with this Tasting Room, same owner,
Jeff. Yeah.
Yeah. So when they walked in, they was just like, "Oh yeah," but yes, they were at Vintage all the time.
Because I saw you guys post like an announcement. I'm like, I know her from someplace. That makes sense.
Yeah.
There we go. All right.
I have one more question because I know we're getting towards the end of the time with you. So you've been in the game for a very long time. How have you seen the change in palettes and the change of plating and all that stuff evolve from when you first started out to now?
People are more educated. Like from then to now, people are more educated as far as the consumer is concerned, you know, because there are so many shows, they understand it more, which can be a help and it can be a hindrance. As far as the food and the plating, it's really about the chef. You know, it's like the change in plating will tell me if the chef goes out to eat a lot, or is he working his ass off 8 days a week and he's not in touch with the industry. You know what I'm saying? So that's where you see it. So for me, I like it in that regard. It's just, the industry as a whole is crazy, you know, and I think that people need to slow it down just a bit. I'm going so fast. And the changes aren't necessarily changes if they're not putting in dollars and cents into your pocket, and if they're not giving you a real sense of enjoying your work, you know, because everybody has to get up and go to work. That's a fact. But are you enjoying that getting up and going to work? For me as an employer, I want to make it where my guys are like, yo, we got to get, what's Chef doing today? What are we doing today? Like, are we going to be on a truck? Are we going to be doing catering? I'm saying we're going to be in Alaska in January during the pop-up. So for me, awesome. It's taking, you have to keep them engaged. Like, yo, you got a passport? Yes. Okay, no problem. So if I hire you in 6 months, we'll be in Alaska. Just buy your flight.
That's Are you going to do a penguin pate?
No, I'm not going to do that. Is that something that's out there?
No, I don't know. I just made it up now for purely for alliteration. I just made it up. I have no idea.
I know. I was going along with it. I was just like, yeah.
You never know.
Penguin pate with an Eskimo cream. Like, what? Sounds awful.
But to keep people engaged, that's how you keep it growing, and that's how the platings change. That's how things evolve. If I go to your spot and you're doing the same plating, say nobody's evolved, that's disheartening.
Yeah.
And then it's scary because we know how treacherous this industry can be. So if you're not evolving and if you're not pivoting, you're losing. You need catering. You need the revenue streams. You need to have a podcast. You need to do all the things to make sure that you're good as a business. Because for me, I want to make sure my guys are paid. That's a good goal, man. You can have the best business in the world, but if you can't keep people and if you can't get your guys paid, those are the important things. And that has nothing to do with food. That has everything to do with business. And that's where the culinary business gets banged up, because everybody thinks it's about food and they're not doing that well, and then they're not even managing their books. So it's a very interesting time. It's a very interesting thing.
So I actually have one more question, because you kind of, sorry. So F, marry, kill, why businesses fail, right? So either not enough insight into overhead and product, staffing and inconsistencies, or I don't want to say food because food is usually the always thing. I guess the third one would be location.
And what you're saying? What is the biggest one?
Yeah, so I guess F Marry like which one do you think
You
is
can't
like
F marry kill these things, man. Just make it easy.
Yeah, you can't. You can't.
I guess in the in like I guess which one would you think is the biggest reason?
Mismanagement, overhead,
Boom. I love that.
mismanagement.
Yep. So true. I know that from experience.
Because mismanagement is everything. If you're mismanaging your food, you're mismanaging your employee. I mismanaged my best employees. That's what we do as owners. You abuse good workers and then you patronize the bad ones because your good workers are going to come in every day. Yeah. And we don't give them. So that's mismanagement. My numbers aren't working. That's mismanagement. That kills. And we could talk about having enough in the till, which is a big thing. But if you're mismanaging at the beginning, you'll burn through more oil that you could have saved and recouped than you would have if you would have just managed better. No, mismanagement is the worst. It's a killer because then that kills your morale, it kills your culture, everything. You can have the best culture in the world and somebody comes in, I've seen it, and mismanage it, and it was already up. And it just goes down and down, and then everybody leaves. No, mismanagement is the worst.
I think that's a bingo right there, man. Couldn't vouch for that more. And you know, you have far more experience than I do, but in my experience, I have seen mismanagement screw up so many potential opportunities.
It's mismanaged. You know what I'm saying? I could say it. You know what I'm saying? When you start your first business at 36 years old, a restaurant that you've never had before, that you don't know. I didn't know what $1 million in my account looked like before opening Hush. I didn't know what freaking $200,000 in my. So for me, as a young Black kid, no college education, I just love food. So that was like LeBron going to Miami. I had to learn how to win. So once I learned how to win, everything else is, but that's grown older. No, but you have to, that's what I say. You have to have the freedom to learn and lose. That's why I work for corporate. You got to be, if you're the chef at 26 years old, what did you learn, bro? Like, who taught you? And then if you're the end all be all in that restaurant at 26 years old, who are you learning from? I had to learn by looking because as soon as I walked into a restaurant at 14 years old, I started running it. Frank and Margot's Mermaid, I was there 15 years old, the owner, love him, got drunk, fell out on a Friday, and I'm there at 15 years old running Saute at Frank and Margot's, not even knowing them. And then once I wanted more money, they was just like, yeah, nah, we got to let you go. 15, bro.
Baptism by fire, though, is what you got.
Yeah. My mom drove me to work from Farmingdale, and 10 minutes into my shift, they were like,
Hey.
What's going on?
Oh, he's here. I'm here.
Yeah.
All right,
What's
man.
We
going
got
on?
everybody.
What's going on? So they were like, well, you can go home now. I was like, I'm 15 years old, bro. There ain't no cell phones. My mom's not even home yet. I'm in Freeport. I walked down Nautical Mile and I walked down Sunrise Highway all the way home to Farmingdale.
I'm sure your mom was super happy about that. When she found out, she's like, they let you do
yeah.
what?
Yeah. My dad was going to go up there. I told him not to. That was that.
Dude, it's been a pleasure talking to you, man. We're about to swap over now.
I know.
Paul.
I see. Yeah. What's going on, Paul? How you doing?
What's up, my man? How are you?
I'm chilling. I can't complain. Good to see you.
Same
All
here,
right.
Paul.
So I'm going to give the closing speech, and then we'll head off. That's a wrap for this episode of the Holy Hot Honey Hour. Big thanks to Mark Anthony Bynum for bringing the flavor and the fire. If you liked what you heard, like us, follow us, share us with someone who knows their way around a good pie. I'm Matthew Zeiss with Gary Klein. And until next time, stay hungry, stay humble, and never go too long without a slice.
We out of here.